that the Professor Michael K. Committee report be made public and circulated across all levels of the party, particularly to those in leadership at the polling station, constituency, regional, and national level. We again demand that a comprehensive executive summary be developed for ease of dissemination and training purposes. Also, we demand that the party hosts interactive regional and constituency level meetings to unpack the findings, allow feedbacks, and build consensus around reform priorities. Finally, we demand crucially that recommendations from the report be integrated into the broader restructuring and reorganization strategy rather than treated as an isolated academic exercise. Let's Mike Ukwe Committee report, a blueprint, a target of the blueprint buried in silence. Following the party's unexpected and painful defeat in the 2024 general elections, the leadership of the NPP rightly commissioned a high-level fact-finding committee chaired by one of our most respected statesmen and scholars, Right Honorable Professor Aaron Mike Dupe. The purpose of the committee was clear: to investigate the root cause of our loss and provide practical recommendations for internal reforms, healing, and strategic recalibration. The formation of the committee was widely applauded. It offered hope that the party was willing to confront its shortcomings with intellectual honesty and chart a better way forward. But months after the report submission, its contents remain unavailable to the very people who need it most. This is not just a communication lapse, it is a fundamental failure of organizational transparency and accountability. As we speak, key actors within the party's hierarchy, members of parliament, constituency executives, regional officers, and polling station leaders have not been briefed on the findings. Yet, these are the very individuals whose actions and omissions shaped the outcome of the 2024 elections. How can we say we have conducted serious introspection or research when those who have either contributed to our loss or done things right have not seen the results nor lessons drawn from them? We must ask and we must find out, are we afraid of the findings? That is the very first question we ask today. Are we shielding individuals or systems for accountability? Our third question is that are we simply uninterested in building a learning political organization? Whatever the case, the current silence around the report is a strategic mistake. It deprives the party of an opportunity to reflect collectively on our weaknesses, secondly, celebrate what was done well, and thirdly, course correct before embarking on the next electoral. Religion and identity in Ghanaian politics. A call for honest dialogue. The role of religion and identity in our political discourse is a sensitive yet critical issue that demands attention. Recent discussions about the religious composition of national leadership, particularly for 2024 and 2028 elections, have been dismissed as divisive or suppressed under the guise of national unity. We unequivocally condemn religious bigotry and tribal chauvinism. We envision a Ghana where every citizen, being a Muslim, Christian, traditionalist, Ewe, Akan, or Dagomba is equally protected and respected under the law. However, ignoring identities entirely is dishonest and dangerous. Religious, ethnic, and regional identities have historically shaped voter perception, candidate selection, and policing building in Ghana, from the nationalist movement to the Fourth Republic. Denying the relative seats grounds to those who exploit identity in the shadows. We call for an honest, responsible national conversation on identity's role in politics, addressing one, how to ensure broad-based representation in our party, how to manage religious perceptions in a pluralistic society, how to prevent silent resentment from inclusion. This dialogue must be factual, respectful, and inclusive, avoiding stigmatization. Mature democracies confront such issues openly, and Ghana must do same. Good. Expansion and cleaning of the party album, which is the third point. The decision by the National Council to expand the party album by two additional persons per polling station is a positive step. However, for this expansion to be credible and meaningful, it must begin with fresh polling station elections conducted transparently across the country. Using the current album, already tainted by allegations of manipulations, will only deepen mistrust. The process must be clean, fair, cascade through all levels of the party structure. Importantly, we must propose the former polling station executives be included in the expanded album. These individuals have served the party loyally and should not be discarded in favor of political convenience. Their experience, dedication, and continued grassroots influence are vital assets. The party album must reflect the true role of the base and not preferences of any single faction. The credible album is not just a technical necessity, it is a test of our internal democracy. The last but one, the NPP strength lies in the bottom up approach. It lies in the deductive approach and it lies in this form of architecture, respecting polling station voices and maintaining internal checks and balances. We propose reverting the original structure by one, begin with polling station elections, followed with constituency and regional elections, proceed to national executive elections, and culminate in the presidential primaries. State leadership by publicly rejecting Abrony's behavior and recommending and recommitting to respect political discourse. Abronya must be held accountable and the NPP must restore a culture of discipline. Failure to do so risks normalizing impunity and alienating key segments of the Ghanaian populace. The second dangers that the party encounters if these problems are not addressed are the danger of a top-down restructuring model. We express a grave concern about the proposed restructuring plan, which prioritizes electing the presidential candidate first, followed by national, regional, constituency, and polling station executives. This approach, this approach, which is a top-down approach model, contradicts the democratic principles that define our party, where power and legitimacy must flow from the grassroots upward. This approach also poses several risks, including over concentration of power. If you say over concentration of power, we are emphasizing on electing the presidential candidate first, grants them disproportionate influence over subsequent elections, potentially manipulating outcomes. Secondly, it suppresses dissent. Party officials must hesitate to challenge the flag bearer's decision, fostering sycophancy rather than robust debate. Weakens cohesion. Again, it weakens cohesion. Imposed loyalty from above undermines shared ownership, as structures may appear to serve one individual rather than the collective role. The fourth point is the voter apathy, which is grassroots members. The lifeblood of our party may feel disenfranchised if the influence is diluted. His recent insults against Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams are particularly egregious. egregious. Archbishop Duncan Williams is not only a preacher but also a pivotal figure in Ghana's charismatic Christian community, contributing significantly to national peace, interfaith dialogue, and social transformation. Abronia's actions offend a faith community that forms a vital part of Ghana's moral and civic fabric, further straining the NPP's relationship with the clergy and Christian voters, which remains unprepared since the last election. While we commend the party for distancing itself from these comments, we find this response inadequate and urge further disciplinary action. We're deeply troubled by Dr. Bawumia's silence, as he remains the primary beneficiary of Abronia's reckless actions. Leadership demands decisive action to uphold civility. Dr. Bawumia must immediately condemn Abronia's divisive attacks, including those against Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, and lead the NPP back to a path of respect and unity, or risk being seen as a complicit in the affront to our values and Ghana's Christian community. We want to restore discipline, or we emphasize on discipline in the party. The NPP's tradition has long been defined by internal discipline, civility, and respect for institutions, values championed by our forebears. Dr. J.B. Dankwa, Chief S.D. Dombo, and Professor K.A. Buzia. Historically, our party has upheld these standards, even disciplining high-ranking officials like the party chairman and general secretary where necessary. Regrettably, these values are increasingly undermined in today's environment. The most glaring example is the unchecked conduct of Kwame Bafu alias DC, Abronya DC, while styling himself as a defender of the party and recently of former Vice President Dr. Bawumia. Abronya's advocacy has degenerated into insults, false accusations, and attacks on party elders, civil society leaders, and respected Christian figures. Despite being summoned by the party's discipline committee, he has disregarded calls for restraints. During the party's recent thank you tour, which began positively, Abronye publicly disregarded Honorable Ken Japon, the party stalwart, without condemnation from party leaders, including former President Dr. Bawumia. He has since escalated his attacks, insulting the General Secretary and others after being referred to the discipline committee. Have this press conference with us. Let me begin by thanking you guys. We, the concerned members in academia, address you today to reflect on critical developments within our great party. As loyalists, We believe the NPP must remain a democratic, principled, and people-centered force. This is especially vital now as we are in opposition and must take deliberate steps to regain power while upholding our principles and development in freedom and advancing our vision of a property owning democracy. Thank you very much. Our press conference focuses on five urgent developments or five urgent themes or strategies. First of all, one, the erosion of discipline and decorum, exemplified by Kwame Bafu, alias Abrony. Two, the risk of an inverted top-down restructuring process. Three, the need for honest, inclusive dialogue on identity, religion in politics. Four, the need to make the Prof. Okwe report public. And five, the need to expand the delegate base to include all former police station executives.